video is going to be a full step-by-step tutorial on how to properly set up and run and optimize and iterate your TikTok ads this year for e-commerce brands. I'll run you through how to pick the right ad creatives, how to actually produce your ad creatives, how to upload them to TikTok, what is your campaign ad set and ad structure should be looking like, and how do you optimize those ads. And this same strategy works whether you're using TikTok's lower end budget, which is of roughly $50 a day, or whether you're spending $1,000 a day or more. If you're new to the channel and you don't yet know who I am, my name is Justin and I'm the founder at pitadvertising.com, an e-commerce growth firm specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce growth. So let's get straight into it. Essentially, as you can see right now, I am on the TikTok Ads Manager, and what I want to do from there is first and foremost create a new campaign, right? So I'm going to come right here, click create, and then from there pick my campaign type or objective. So for this type of campaign, assuming I'm going for sales, right, which is what most e-commerce brands will want to go for, I'm going to go ahead and pick website conversions. Now, if ever you get greeted with a screen that is asking you, do you want to pick simplified or custom mode, always pick custom mode. So here I'm going to click on website conversions. Now to quickly show you how the campaign we're going to build is going to look like at the end, it's going to look like something like this. This is the same campaign type we've been using on Meta over the last year that we've now started using on TikTok because it's just performing as well on TikTok ads. So essentially, you have one campaign. It's a CBO campaign or campaign budget optimization. And then from there, you have no interest. You only limit age, gender, country, or region. You, if you want, can exclude purchasers. Right now, I've actually stopped doing that. I've just figured that one campaign being as open as possible is best. Then I do either one campaign per country or market, collection, or event. So with that said, if you have, as an example, different products you're testing, or you're going to do one campaign per product. If you have different collections you're advertising, once again, one campaign per product. If you have a limited time offer, so let's say you have your evergreen campaign on your shoes, and then you come out with a Black Friday sale, then what you want to do is have a separate campaign for Black Friday. So one campaign per country, market, collection, or event. Within that campaign in itself, you'll typically want to have 3 ad sets. You'll want to have 2 what Facebook calls dynamic creative tests, what TikTok used to call automated creative optimization, but now call smart ads, which essentially you will see in the next few minutes what these do. But essentially, they allow you to bundle up different ad creatives under one ad to show different iterations and variations to the audience. And I'm going to show you how to best organize that. So going back to TikTok Ads Manager, then I'm going to name my campaign. So as an example, I'm going to click PA, and then let's just put that, and I'll put, sales, or actually usually I call this one a prospecting campaign. If it's product specific, then I could put as an example AOT, because for the sake of this video, I'm actually going to pick an existing creative that's I've got from Cuts right here, and I'll slightly edit it with Final Cut Pro, which I'll do with you guys in a second, and upload that right here. But it's on the AOT and Juggers actually, so I'll put AOT and Juggers right there. No special ad categories. Campaign budget optimization, yes, I turned this on. Obviously the minimum on TikTok is $50 a day, so I have no choice but to put that at $50 a day as minimum. So from there, I'm gonna go ahead and click continue. Now, ad group name, typically I'm just going to call that one broad right there. Pixel, I'll make sure to select my pixel. So let's say this TikTok pixel for Shopify. So let me just pick this one actually real quick. Optimization event, you'll want to make sure that you pick complete payment, because as opposed to Facebook, for some reason, Facebook, Google calls it a purchase. TikTok calls it a complete payment, which is the same thing, right? Somebody who's completed a payment, therefore they've made a purchase. So we're going to optimize for a purchase right here. So I'm going to pick complete payments. Placements, I personally always leave it to automatic placements unless I see some like weird placements in my breakdown a couple days after I've launched the ads. But to be honest, most of the time it's automatic placement. Now, when it comes to targeting, and I want to kind of read a little bit what they say right here, right? The benefits of automatic targeting will be applied to all broad ads automatically. You'll no longer need to manually select automatic targeting. We recommend using broad targeting. This allows our system to optimize and find the best users. It's interesting, right? Facebook has now been saying the same thing over the last year, and now most recently in the last couple of weeks, which is what prompted me to start making this video, we've personally noticed that part of our client pool is best getting results with broader audiences, and TikTok now is recommending the same thing. So typically what I do is to go back right here, I only limit age, gender, country, or region. So if I come back here as an example, age, gender, country, or region. Well, right here I could advertise in Canada. Let's say I want to do North America as a whole, so I could do the US. So perfect. I've got Canada, US. let's say, right, cuts is male primarily. And we could either go all male, but typically cuts, I would probably assume it's like more specifically this demographic. So, all right, now I pick my demographic. I could also pick the language if I wanted to, so make sure everybody speaks English. And then that's it. I literally don't pick anything else. Like, I leave this open. I don't pick personally an audience, like in terms of like including some of my past audiences. I don't pick any interests, behaviors, devices. I keep that as broad as what you see right now on screen. Now to go down, set time to run ad group continuously. That's always what I do. I leave TikTok to optimize whenever they show those ads. Conversion goal, it's conversion, right? I always optimize for conversion. I want to get the maximum amount of conversion as possible. Attribution settings, I usually leave it to the default. I use 7-day click, 1-day view, which technically Facebook gives you more option. You could actually go all the way up to like 28-day click, 7-day view. It starts to be a little bit far-fetched at that point. Just to say, like, what does that mean essentially if you're new to the platform? 7-day click means if somebody sees your ad today, they click on your ad today, and they make a purchase anytime within the next 7 days, the ad that had that click is going to get a conversion appearing on TikTok Ads Manager. Even if that person then searched you up on Google or whatever it is, TikTok will attribute on a last click basis on their own platform. 1-day view, it's kind of the same principle, but it's no click. So meaning if somebody sees one of your ads today on their feed or stories or reel placements, or I mean, I'm talking about Instagram placements right now, but all that to say, if they see your ad on their For You page, then they will belong to your conversion window for the next 24 hours. So if they make a purchase within the next 24 hours, regardless of them, as an example, going up now on Instagram, searching you on there, searching you again on Google, and then finally buying 3 hours later after they've seen a TikTok ad, the ad is still going to get a conversion attributed to it. Now, sometimes brands that have very high budgets might benefit from a 1-day click, because that means it's the highest intent of purchasers, right? Somebody that clicks today and buys today is somebody that's a very prime buyer, right? It's like the ideal audience more specifically. And the reason why you only want to do that when you're at scale, meaning you're spending a few $1,000s a day, it's because there's probably going to be less volume of purchasers that would convert within a 24-hour window. And it becomes harder for your ads to optimize if they're not able to actually capture conversions because you're limiting the attribution window. It's as if TikTok's thinking, no one likes this brand, no one's converting, who should I go for, right? It has a hard time optimizing. So 7-day click, 1-day view is usually kind of the standard for both Meta and TikTok. So now I've clicked next, and I'm going to move down to the ad level. So what I want to do is at the top, I actually want to turn on smart creative ads. So that's one thing I want to turn on right here. What this does is it's going to allow me to create essentially different ads within a same ad, if that makes sense. So going back to this right here, what I typically do, call that a smart creative ad, call that a DCT. Essentially we bundle up one ad concept, one desire into a single smart creative ad, and we make 3 creative variations, 2 pieces of copy, and 2 headlines, which if you do the math gives about 12 variations of ad possibilities or combinations that TikTok can go ahead and test with, again, different audiences. So that just gives TikTok a little bit more ammo, but it also helps you narrow your scope. Like, I'm one for creative efficiency. There are 2 schools of thoughts in this space. There's one that is throw enough shit at the wall and it's gonna stick, right? Basically, there's a lot of people that say if you produce mass amount of creatives, at some point, some of them have to convert, which is true. Or there's the second school of thought, which is, do I really want to pay, again, would it be an agency to produce mass amount of creatives? Do I want to hire that many creators? Do I want to deal with the headache of having that much volume? Or do I actually want to spend more time researching and thoroughly building my ad creatives, making sure I'm taking a safe bet, and essentially bundling up similar ads within one concept? I'm more of the latter, which is creative efficiency. Other people call that creative hit rates also, which means how many winning ads you launch versus how many total tested ads have you had on an ad account. Which, if you want to be good and efficient, you would have to optimize for at least 20 to 25% or more creative hit rate, meaning 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 4 ads that you produce gets good results for your business. So to go back right here, we know that we need 3 variations of a similar ad angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to Foreplay, and I've got this ad that I found earlier. So let me just put that on mute, which the first thing I see, it's a quote essentially from GQ, but it's the hook essentially, right? The only shirt worth wearing. Great. So what is the desire? What's the overall angle they're trying to attack with this ad? Well, it seems like they're going for the evergreen shirt. the shirt that you can put, and you'll see that with the video, right? If I put play, it's like the new business casual, so it's like a day-to-day. Ditch the suit, right? So it tells you that like it's good at the office, and it just shows you that this is a shirt that can be used in many different situations. And great, all right, cool. So the only shirt worth wearing. In other words, the desire of this ad is one shirt for all occasions. So what I'm gonna do is now download this video, and I'm gonna head over to Final Cut Pro in order to make 2 more variations of that same video to use as my smart creative ads on TikTok. All right, so now I've got variation number 2 that I just made, which is one shirt for all occasions. As I just said, honestly, it's very ugly, so don't just pay attention to what type of ad I just made. Pay attention to the fundamentals, which is, typically speaking, in a TikTok ad, you would have 1 ad, 3 hooks. That's what you need to remember. 1 ad, 3 hooks. It could be visual hooks, meaning the text at the start, right? Because in that case, nobody's talking. So it could be the text at the start, which is a visual hook, or it could actually be an oral hook, so somebody that actually speaks about something, right? So in that case, I'm just going to opt for the visual hook. I just slapped the text on top of the existing text because, again, I just wanted to make something fast to show you in this video. So I'm going to export that one and make a second one right now. And now I have my third variation of this ad, which is one shirt from the office to the gym. So now I'm going to export that one and head back over to TikTok Ads Manager. So here you have the choice. You either use a TikTok account to deliver Spark ads, or you set a custom identity. I personally found better results using a custom identity, so that's what I'm going to do for the sake of this video. Basically, you would upload a image. So let me just go cuts clothing as an example. I'm going to go to image. I'm going to try and find their logo. So cuts clothing logo. Perfect. I have it right here. Save image. Save that to my computer. Going back right here, I'm gonna upload this logo. Where is that exactly? That's not it. That's a thumbnail. All right, perfect. So I've got it right there. Let me click submit. So that's my profile pic. I'm gonna call it cuts clothing. That's gonna be the ad that will be appearing. So from there, what I want to do is I want to add up my images that I just made. So I'm going to upload, images, I say videos that I just made. So I'm going to upload the 3 ones that we just created together. I'm going to click on upload right here. We have the original one that we downloaded, and then we have V2 and V3, essentially, which we both just edited on our side. They're all ready to upload. So I'm going to pick these 3 videos and hit upload. So now, as you can see, I've uploaded all 3 videos and they're all still under the same ad. So if I look at it right now, I can see the different placements right here, but the only shirt worth wearing, then I can show you the ad number 2, one shirt for all occasions. Ad number 3, it's going to load right now, one shirt from the office to the gym. All 3 of them, again, are going to appear in different variations to my audience. So what I would want to do right now is, in terms of text, since there's no headline on TikTok as opposed to Meta, I want to add 2 pieces of text right here. So these pieces of text usually are going to be very similar to what I've added as visual hooks. Just for the sake of this video, let me quickly write 2 pieces of copy. So one of them, as an example that I just got, is this one: meet the shirt that works as hard as you do. And then I've written a second one, which is, let's say, from boardroom ideas to weight room feels, it got you covered. So yeah, that's right. I can't put an emoji on TikTok, so let me just remove that real quick. So those are my 2 pieces of copy. As you can see, they're both aligned with the same kind of style that I have on these videos. So to kind of recap again, it's the same ad. Usually the hook is the only difference in these 3 ads. So it could be a visual hook, once again, or a kind of text hook, as I've just done in this case. 2 pieces of copy, both aligning with the same overall angle of this video. Dynamic call to action, no, I always put standard. And here I'll usually pick shop now. For the URL, I'll enter the URL at this point of the websites. In this case, if you do have, as an example, triple while, or if you want to use UTMs, you can add your UTMs right there. And then I would end by clicking submit, essentially, and having this go live. And by the way, if you're familiar with this same strategy on Meta, it's at the ad set level, right? Where the ad set level shows you to turn on dynamic creative test. On TikTok, it used to be at the ad set level too. It used to be called automated creative optimization. But now, for some reason, they moved that setting and called it smart creative ads at the ad level. So in other words, what you'll do right now, I just made one of my DCTs, or one of my smart creative ads. So what I want to do is once I've published this one, so let's say I click submit. I won't do it right now because if I do so, again, I'm not legally affiliated with Cuts Clothing, so with that said, I can't do that, but I would just publish it. Then I would basically duplicate my ad set. I would make a second ad set, the same exact thing, same exact like targeting setting, and then I would just pick a whole different ad, 3 different hooks, 2 different pieces of copy, launch that. Now, what you want to do is if at some point you have winning ads, which is what's important right here. If at some point you have winning ads, what you can do is start moving these ads to a separate main ad set. The entire strategy looks like this at scale. So if you don't have any ads, this is your first time building this new ad account from scratch, you'll want to have 3 smart creative ads. So 3 broad ad sets, all of them which below have like 3 variations of a same ad with 2 pieces of copy. So in that case, as an example, if I go back to my foreplay and whatever it is, well, those in that case are photo ads, but let's just say this was the second ad I wanted to run. I would basically make 3 variations of that ad, launch that again as a separate smart creative ad on TikTok. So if your account is blank, you have 3 creative tests running at the same time. You do a CBO. Why? Because you let TikTok automate where it distributes the budget and you let it decide which ad does it think is worth spending money on. The differentiating factor in this methodology is that we let the ad platform kind of guide us when it comes to optimizations. Usually the more spend they're on a creative, the more confident the algorithm is in the success of this ad. So that's a good indicator that this ad might succeed. It's not guaranteed that it will succeed, but it might. Assuming you have 1 or 2 ads that start getting good results. This is where essentially you'll want to create a main ad set and you'll want to start removing these smart creative ads and just moving the winning combination into that main ad set essentially. So you'd want to move the winning combination that you made. So let's say I made 3 ads and 2 pieces of copy, or potentially it's my variation 2 of my ad with my copy number 1 that let's say is the best performing one. So I would move this combination into a separate main ad set and kill off this smart creative ad and launch a new test to replace it. I typically never recommend for you to delete anything ever. You just turn off the ad set. So the difference here is that you don't optimize at the ad level. With that, you optimize more specifically at the ad set level. So if I go down, this is how we optimize for that. So whenever you launch a new ad, you wait 3 days, right? So whenever you launch one of these new ad set that is a smart creative ad set, you wait 3 days. Did this ad set spend 3 times my cost per acquisition target? Yes or no? Did it spend over the average order value that I have? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, then great. It started getting spammed, meaning the algorithm is pushing it. No, wait another 3 days. If after another 3 days, so 6 days since the launch, it's not spending, TikTok doesn't like it. Kill it and replace it with a new one. Now, if it started spending a little bit, did it take roughly 40% of the total CBO budget, right? Going back to this structure above, the main ad set overall, by default, if it's filled with winning ads, it will get attributed more spend because TikTok's like, hey, this ad set has a lot of killers in there. I'd rather put more spend towards that. So if one of your smart creative ads outperforms the main or at least gets attributed 40% of the budget, it's a good chance it's going to throw some good results. Now, if it got roughly 40% of spend and it is above KPI, then you simply extract the winning combination and move it to your main ad set. If it did spend quite a lot but is below KPI, then you simply kill it. If it's essentially spent the 3 times CPA, it spent over the AOV, but it did not take 40%, so it's still low spend relatively, you also kill it. The only reason you would want to move a winning combination into a main ad set, so the only reason we call an ad a winner is because it's taking a lot of spend and it's above KPI. So I really want to be clear about that. Now, you always, as mentioned, kill the ad set, not the ad itself. When it comes to optimization and when it comes to scaling the budget, this is how I do it. So I always take a look at my last 7 days. So I'll go, let's say today, so I'll go back here. I would go to my campaign as an example. So I go to my campaign manager. Let me just exit out of that. Then I would pick at the top, I would go like last 7 days as an example right here. And that's always what I do. So today I'll do last 7 days. I'll check the results. Is my overall campaign above KPI? If it is, I, coming back to here, will increase my campaign budget by 20%. Then tomorrow I'll do the same thing again. Tomorrow I'll do 7 days, right? Which the 7-day period always kind of moves a little bit. So is tomorrow above KPI? Yes, I increase by 20%. I do that for as long as I'm above KPI. If at some point I'm below KPI, I either decrease by 20% or I stabilize and I give it an extra day to see whether or not it's actually going to meet my KPI standard. And that's how I optimize. That's how I do it essentially. And that's how we are able to scale such an ad campaign. Now, if you want a TikTok ad agency partner to help you set this up for your e-commerce brand, click the link down below and book in a call to speak with our team today at pitadvertising.com. And with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Check out other videos on the channel for some more useful e-commerce marketing tips, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace.